Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Intuitive Living with Suzanne. So, today we are going to talk a little bit about understanding your energy type. Now, living intuitively means getting in touch with who you are at your core. And this is what we talk about in all of these different podcast episodes, different ways of getting in touch with yourself and figuring everything out. So, when you begin to learn about who you are and how you fit into the world, you can begin to live your life trusting your inner voices and feelings more, your intuition. So, trusting that you are where you need to be and doing what you're designed to do. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about the energy that you bring to the table and how you use it for the greatest benefit to live in your full power. This is Suzanne Arjona, and you're listening to Intuitive Living with Suzanne, where we are tuning in to our inner voices and taking life to the next level. So, understanding the type of energy you bring into the world is an important part of living intuitively. And understanding how it works best will lead to less frustration and disappointment and more empowerment and success in everything that you do. So as you begin to understand your strengths and your weaknesses, you're able to show up more authentically and know without a doubt that you're doing what you're designed to do. Okay? Many of us go through a large part of our lives trying to figure out if we're on the right path. Are we doing what we're meant to be doing? What's our purpose? Okay? And that's what we're going to get into over the next couple of episodes. So there are 5 energy types as defined in human design. Okay? Manifestors, generators, projectors, reflectors, and manifesting generators. So each type has its own best strategy for making decisions in life that bring the best results. Okay, the results that are in alignment with our true paths. So, for example, a former client of mine is a generator type in her human design. She had been successful in her career, but felt there was more she needed and wanted to do to really thrive in her career. She just couldn't put her finger on it. She spent a lot of time mentoring other people in the field. She was that person that managers would send new people to for mentoring. And she soon realized that that was the direction she needed to shift to, coaching and mentoring others in her same field. So, her excitement was always evident when she talked about teaching classes and getting paid for the consulting and coaching that she had been doing for free. With the generator strategy of responding, she did just that. She responded to that opportunity that presented itself. She didn't go chasing after it, it came to her. And as soon as she realized this option for her business, it all clicked. That was her new direction. Okay. Another example is a good friend of mine. We are dear friends, and she's a projector in her design. Now, projectors are the seers. They can see what others can't. Sort of like having a bird's eye view of any situation they walk into. Like my generator client, this friend of mine is a go-to person. Whenever people need help with projects or problems, she is that natural problem solver, and I admire her for those skills. She's really good at just kind of knowing what needs to be done. However, sometimes in her desire to help others, and she's got this really, really big heart. She's always there for other people. But she'll see issues and offer advice, and people won't always want to take her advice. And it used to drive her batshit crazy that others couldn't see what she could see, and that they couldn't see her vision, and they wouldn't take her advice. It was so clear to her. And she used to take it personally, until she learned about her projector strategy of waiting for the invitation. She learned that no matter how clearly she could visualize a plan or a solution, if the other person wasn't ready or willing to hear it, she needed to keep it to herself. It wasn't about her. Her job, her strategy is to wait for the invitation. Okay. Manifestors are another energetic type, and they are the idea people. They're the ones that come up with these amazing new ideas and plans. They start things. They're the initiators. When we hear that slogan, just do it, that's for the manifestors. Okay. When they get an idea, they can literally just do it. The challenge they run into, though, is not having the energy to sustain it. These projects that they dream up and initiate. So they often end up running out of steam and the project dies. So their strategy is to inform. Okay. They need to let the folks around them know what they're up to. Let them know what cool ideas they have brewing. This does two things. One, it gives the generators, the ones with all that sustaining energy, the opportunity to respond, which is, their strategy, and jump on board with the project. And two, it allows others who are not going to get involved an opportunity to step aside and let the manifestor do her thing. Okay? Now, manifesting generators are another energetic type, and I'm a manifesting generator. We are primarily generators with all that energy and with some manifestor traits. So the main thing about manifesting generators is that we typically do many different things. Not always at once, but often we have more than one single focus. A lot of people just think we're all over the board and not getting anything done because we're focused on so many different things. Okay. One example of how I learned to embrace my manifesting generator energy is in my coaching business. So when I first started out, I coached at-home moms building small businesses around their families. Okay. That's what I knew because that's what I was. It then morphed into holistic health coaching as I brought in my Tai Chi classes and herbal workshops and Reiki sessions. It evolved again into goal setting and life balance coaching. And that's when I wrote my first book on life balance. And today, taking all of that previous experience and my own life experiences, I now work primarily with intuitive women, helping them tap into and live out their most authentic life by learning to follow their own inner guidance. Okay. And that's what we're doing here with this podcast, funny enough. So as, learning about their human design and bringing their lives to the next level. So that's what I'm doing now. So all along the way, I felt like, why can't I find the thing, that one niche that lit me up? It's because all of these things lit me up, and I needed to incorporate all of them at one time or another. And like the generator, I need to wait and respond to opportunities rather than trying to force things to happen. And so now I keep my eyes and ears and intuition open so I can be ready to respond when that next thing that lights me up shows up. Okay? So the final energetic type is the reflector. And I'll be honest, I don't have any firsthand experience with any reflectors in my life yet. They are the most rare type, being only about 1% of the population. But they are the mirrors of the world. And as reflectors, they can pretty much be anything at any time and find joy in just doing what excites them. They're like chameleons, merging with their environment and those around them. So because of this, having alone time is really important for reflectors to be able to separate out what's really them versus what it is that's influencing them through their environment. Okay? Reflectors can't be rushed into making decisions. Okay, so kind of like the generators and manifesting generators, they have to wait. They're not those just do it types. But their strategy is to wait 28 days. That's a full moon cycle for clarity before making big decisions. Okay, this gives them an opportunity to kind of feel their emotions up and down throughout the entire cycle of the month and, kind of get an even sense of what's going to be right for them and what's not. So having A consistent group of friends who are supportive is really helpful for the reflector to talk about their decisions so they can have that feedback all along the way to help them decide if a choice feels right. So, aside from waiting, the reflector only needs to choose what makes them feel good, and they'll see this reflected through those around them. If they feel good, they'll know they're in the right place and doing the right things. Okay, so this is just a very general overview of the 5 energy types and their strategies. When you know your type and how to be present in the world with it, your intuition will start to become clearer. You'll be able to see or feel or know what's right for you and trust more that you're in your right path. Okay. Next episode, I will continue this mini series on how to use your human design to make decisions and enhance your intuition even further. So, if you'd like to learn more about your human design type and strategy, feel free to schedule a complimentary call with me. You can find my contact info on my website at www.thelifewalk.com. So, I want to thank you again for joining me this week. And until next time, I wish you all the brightest blessings.